this is a fair question. Like, seriously, what happened to Nancy Mace? I mean, it's a question we got to ask. When she arrived on the scene in 2020, she seemed like a moderating influence. I even had a crush on her for a hot second, right? But like, I have never seen anyone age or fall from grace like she has. I have never seen anyone crash to the point of like her staff overturning, right? Crazy stories about her requiring like burner accounts, bot farms, obsessed with her self-promotion and toxic work environments. Now she thinks she's running for governor, but she has just aged. Something, it's like MAGA kills. I'm serious. MAGA, the xenophobia, it kills. Let's look into this.
You can't deny you're a communist and want the government to run everything. I will also tell you that the morale with the NYPD and men and women in blue throughout the New York metropolitan area is at the lowest I have ever seen it.
Dude, look at her, dude. What is going on with her, bro?
We have heard from folks.
Like, look at the difference, guys. Look at her. Look at her a couple of years ago. Look at her now. Like, what the fuck, bro? It looks like she got replaced by someone. I mean, it has to be drugs. Look at her neck, dude. Like she is like, I don't know. She's you know, a regular normal woman here. She's got some makeup on and like, what the fuck, dude? This was 2 years ago. 2 fucking years, bro. That is a 2-year difference. Holy shit, bro. 2 years and she doesn't even look the same anymore, man. Jesus Christ, bro. That is gnarly.
Now to a stunning story out of Washington where former staffers in Congresswoman Nancy Mace's office are reportedly calling out a toxic work culture after a recent mass exodus at the South Carolina Representative's D.C. office. According to the Daily Beast, Mace's entire D.C. office has turned over since November 1st.
Dude, isn't that crazy? From November 1st to February, 3 months, her entire DC office quit and moved on, dude. All of her staff gone. Is it just me? But like, Nancy Mace is like so anti-trans, but yes, every time I see her, she has the clockiest photos. She really does. She looks, you know, like gender bending so much despite her anti-trans thing. Like, look at that photo. And she didn't used to look like this. But like, man, I feel like if we're doing genital checks, I feel like Nancy's got to be the first check, bro.
Former staffers who spoke with the Daily Beast on the condition of anonymity described Mace as micromanaging the office all day and into the night. One former senior staffer claimed Mace called close to midnight on Christmas Eve, asking why she wasn't on TV more during the holiday week.
Yeah, see, I got to say, Nancy Mace, she is one of the weirder cases of people that I've ever seen, guys, because she came onto the scene in 2020. She was very anti-Trump. She was very anti his treatment of women. You know, she was livid about, you know, the insurrection. And she was seriously put off by the Republican, like, you know, trying to strip away women's right to birth control and their right to choose. And she seemed like she was going to come into the Republican Party. She was very friendly towards LGBTQ people, and she seemed like a Republican that was coming in that had some social justice values to her about at least like respecting the humanity of gay people and wanting to prevent severe draconian laws against women. And she seemed like a moderating influence to the Republicans. And I liked her when she first showed up. I actually was like, oh my God, I was kind of excited. Post-Trump, You got Nancy Mace in there. It looked like there was going to be an opportunity for Republicans to sort of take their power back and sort of extricate themselves from the graveyard that is Trumpism. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful conservative woman who's like not an extremist. And something has happened in the last couple of years where she has literally, like, she's getting more and more extreme.
I've talked to members of Congress, leadership that have worked with her.
People are like, fuck her, bro.
You can't predict the next move. You can't predict what she's going to be doing. She just seems to be, well, I don't know, rudderless there.
I mean, if you look at the way she was leering at Hunter Biden like an 8th grader during that House Oversight hearing when he walked in, she was making like catcalling sounds and acting literally like an 8th grader.
Well, but
is anyone surprised by this story?
See, that's the thing, though.
Dude, look at Vaughn Hilliard. Look at him over here, dude. He is like, because what's crazy is Nancy has a reputation as like a fucking crazy person, you know? She does. She's like really hard to work with.
Again, it seems that there's this evolution from getting extraordinarily Trumpy to then trying to be reasonable to then going Trumpy. I mean, what can you tell us about your reporting on Nancy Mace through the years?
Well, look, I realize that folks can go through political evolution, but I got to tell you guys, this is a hell of a whiplash. 2 years ago, I was with Nancy Mace on the campaign trail when she was trying to hold on to her congressional seat because Donald Trump was trying to primary her in her South Carolina congressional district. And this was after Nancy Mace had suggested that there needed to be, fresh face in the Republican Party after the January 6th attack and suggested that, the lives of her family members could have been on the line. Nancy Mace, after she actually beat that Trump-backed primary challenger, I asked her the explicit question, how was she going to survive in a Republican Party that had been reshaped in Donald Trump's image? And she told me here at the time, quote, "My message is the same to him as it is to anybody else on either side of the aisle. I am willing to work with anyone who is willing to work with me." Full stop. Well, she's gone out of her way to work with him. And despite Nikki Haley being the one on the campaign trail with her at those stops that I was attending 2 years ago, trying to help her save her seat, just the other day, she was holding a press conference in South Carolina with cameras all around her, calling Nikki Haley the China's favorite governor. Compare that to the words that Donald Trump had for her back 2 years ago when he held a rally in South Carolina.
Jesus. So Nikki Haley helps her win her primary, right, against the Trumpian guy. And then Nancy Mace goes out and just eviscerates Nikki Haley. Like, that's the kind of shit, right? We're like, oh my God, dude, like, who's going to work with you after that? Nobody. Like, all you're going to have is people like Trump. Transactional degenerates, because no normal person's ever going to help you again after you throw them under the bus like that.
When he called her a grandstander and he called her a, quote, untruthful grandstanding loser. This is the evolution of Nancy Mace in the last 2 years.
Here's a tweet of hers. Look at this. This is 2021, where she says, "I strongly support LGBTQ rights. No one should be discriminated against. Right? Religious liberty, gay rights, and transgender equality can all coexist. I'm also a constitutionalist. We have to ensure anti-discrimination laws don't violate religious freedom." There's no way. Dude, look at this. When Nancy Mace signed bathroom signs. Like, really? Dude, who the fuck wants a Nancy Mace signed bathroom signs, guys? Dude, who would order this shit? Right? Look at that. When Nancy Mace signed bathroom signs. Bro, that is some white trash shit. I can't even imagine TERFs wanting that. Okay? Like, that is crazy. All right. Dude, what happened to her, man? You want one? Dude, I don't know, man. I'd probably sign up for the Nancy Mace genital check. Right? I'd sign up for that, or I would have in fucking 2021, right? I don't know if I'd sign up for it anymore, but in 2021, if there was a there was a genital check, I probably would have signed up for it. Shh. Oh, Lord. But not anymore, man. Trying to quit. She says, this job isn't easy. Even harder are delivering meaningful results. But we've just done that. We've done just that. 517 million authorized or appropriated for SC1. Okay, but look at the community note. She voted against the appropriations bill, which authorized the funding. Right? She's like 517 million for my district. And then you look at it and she voted against the fucking bill. Right? Savage. Okay? Savage. How do they do that? How does she live with herself doing that shit? Right? How $517 million and she voted against that bill? And then she says, community notes, you guys are dumb. Go look at these, which I voted for. They said the bills mentioned are authorization bills, not appropriation bills, and thus do not fund the activities authorized. Well, you voted for those bills. You didn't vote for the legislation. Dude, she keeps getting community noted. Dude, every time she talks, she gets community noted, and then they community note her attacking the community notes. Oh, my God, dude. She says all child rapists should get the death penalty. Nancy Mace wrote this minutes after voting against the release of the Epstein files. Ouch. Right? And then she says there was no vote on the Epstein files today, despite Democrats' best efforts to trick the fake news. Here's what happened. They claimed that if the previous question failed, they'd offer an amendment to force the release of the Epstein files. And it says misleading. Dude, she got community noted again. And again. Oh my God, bro. Dude, look at this shit. She gets community noted. She responds. She gets community noted. She responds. She gets community noted. She responds and gets community noted. Oh, dude. That is just so funny. Oh, dude, that is so funny. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Every post she did, she got community noted. Oh Lord, dude. That is amazing. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.